Hello, and welcome to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. We are your hosts, Jessica and KEMI. Hey, KEMI girl.
Girl, hello. Oh my God.
Hello. Why are you KEMI 22 today?
Did I just expose myself?
Oops.
That's my chat roulette username for any of the OGs who were on chat roulette back in the day. Sorry.
Well, while KEMI fixes that, welcome everybody to this episode of Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. We're going to be talking about this past episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Before we do anything, we want you to click like, subscribe, click to receive notifications. If you do not already, we recap Bachelor in Paradise every Tuesday, and I believe, if I am not mistaken, that it's going to be Tuesdays from now on, right? Because they just changed it. It is no longer on Mondays, correct?
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to my life.
It is no, let KEMI fix that. It's no longer going to be on Mondays. I'm assuming it's because of Monday Night Football. But yes, make sure that you send this to people, share it with the people that you know are going to have a good time. And and say hi in the chat. Say hello, everybody. Hey, Casey Coos. Hey, girl, Sasha. Yeah. Asia, hey, what's up, Erica? And thank you, Erica, so much. I just want to say before we start, I got this new highlighter from Deja Vu. It is from Miss Julie Vu, who is a YouTuber and also was on this past season of Big Brother Canada. And this is from her palette, from her highlighter palette. And it's like, it's really giving me the glow right now. So,
babe, you look amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it is because of football. But let's get down to this because it was everything I wanted.
Wait a minute. Sorry, not to get off topic, but speaking of football, I don't know which one of you guys are diehard football fans, but I follow a bunch of you guys on Twitter, and all of a sudden, my entire timeline is football. I don't know if I gotta mute y'all, but what?
Do you not like football? Do you not like football? What's going on?
I like the playoffs and the Super Bowl because then I get to throw parties. But as far as being a fan of the actual sport, I mean, I'm just looking for one of them to put a ring on it. But I don't really. No, I know Giselle's husband has been winning the NBA Super Bowl for the past several years.
You're talking about Tom Brady?
That one. Yeah, outside of that, and Jess knows how triggered I am by this because I got a very interesting DM slide recently, and then the conversation turned to football, and I'm like, I'm sorry, am I a homie? Am I a bro? Okay.
No, he wants to know how much you know about football. Maybe he wants his woman to know about football.
All right, so then y'all got to help me out since y'all are such football fans because I'm about to lie my ass off.
Girl, you could have just asked me. I'm on right now. I am currently in a fantasy league with 13 men. I'm the only female. And I'm just wait, how did I get here? First of all, how did I get here? Why am I the only female to be on this fantasy football draft? And why am I almost in 12th place? This is unheard of. No, we need to figure this out.
Okay, well, I'm going to need you, Jess, and Azia. I need y'all to help me out because this could be my husband one. I'm joking. But BB Bean, yes, I did go to Terps games. It was mostly just to get drunk and have fun with my friends and then show off my creative flag. Sometimes it would be a bandeau. Sometimes I'd throw it into a little bikini top. Sometimes I'd have it in my hair. I was really just going to the games. I had more fun at the basketball games.
I do love me some basketball too. Sorry, I didn't mean to say female. I say female from time to time, but for some reason, men have now used this term female
They
as
demonize
a
it.
derogatory term, and I'm not digging this.
It's gross. I mean, honestly, I think at some point was it Joe? Someone else during the episode used female, and it was just in a
Brendan did.
Yeah, but someone other than Brendan in a very casual way. And it's like, okay, you can tell when someone has like malicious intent behind their words. So, you know, Brendan, like, especially like disgruntled females, like, it definitely gives that vibe that like women are so bitter and salty and hate to see other people happy, and like it's a thing, and he was just trying to like reinforce that by saying that. So that's nasty. And you know, you guys know me, I was a big Brendan fan. So
yes, you were. And now you've come to the light. You've seen
to the ring light.
You've seen what we've seen. Update for everybody. If anybody has not seen Brendan's Instagram followers, he is now currently at 249,000 followers. This is about 100,000 more than I would personally like him to have. I don't know why he didn't at least lose at least another 10K from this episode, because I find that he was even more disrespectful in this episode than in last week's episode. What do you all think?
I do think he was he had a little bit of lip for Marissa.
He did. He was bold. I was like, oh, so this is the actual Brendan that is who he is when he forgets that the cameras are around.
What's funny is that my best friend's fiance, he's one of those guys who's like, I don't watch The Bachelor, but then he like waits for it to come on every night, and he was like locked in tonight. And when this whole Brendan debacle was going on, he texted me and he's like, where the hell was Riley when Brendan was talking to Marissa like that? I would never let some man come in and talk to Talia like that. I'm like, yes, where was Riley? Because he said, that's none of your business. Excuse me? Like, yes, it is. This is everyone's, you've made it everyone's business.
Yeah. And may I add that although like Demi was she was very vocal about what was going on. May I remind everybody that she also wasted her date card on this man who was not into her. So it was definitely part of her business to say all of this, because had Brendan not been there, she honestly could have, who knows, maybe formed a connection with Kenny earlier on, or, figured something out, before. I mean, we still got all of the amazing drama, but, it is what it is. And yes, our good girl Natasha did surpass him, because she's currently at 439,000 followers. We love to see it. I love to see this. Yes. Look, and you know what? I'm typically not really into the whole follower count, but knowing that this is like, having followers does help. It helps with a lot of opportunities that you would not necessarily have. Like this right now for Natasha, and being like this proves that, that when you're genuine, like people deserve to follow people that are in support from genuine people. Like not all of us, like, yes, do we want followers? Absolutely. Doesn't everybody? But there are some people that do whatever it takes for followers, and other people who are seriously genuine and care about, I don't know, about what they're doing. I don't even want to keep going with this, because he's made me feel very mean lately. I feel like a really mean person when I talk about him.
I do understand what you're saying though, Jess. Like, it's nice to see so many people come together to support Natasha, especially in a franchise that isn't predisposed to supporting someone like Natasha. So, it's nice to see that shift, because I think, this franchise is dominated by women. And I think every woman has experienced some sort of like fuckboy in their life, or someone who's like, kind of casted them to the side, or like treated them like they were just an option. So they resonate with Natasha. So I think it's nice to feel validated in your feelings, because, I saw a little bit of myself in like what Natasha was experiencing, because I've been in a similar situation where it's like, I'm dating someone, and then all of a sudden he has like a girlfriend out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, it's a shitty feeling.
Absolutely.
Feel deceived, so yeah, it's nice to see her get that support.
It is.
Oh, it was nice to see her in Rat and Boa during Fashion Week. Rat and Boa? I know, that's right.
and Sasha, she asked, like, why isn't Pieper losing followers? Well, there are a few, and I'm going to call them conspiracy theories, or allegedly. A lot of people are saying that she's not losing followers because she bought them,
or not currently buying them,
or is currently buying them. Maybe it may be maybe something, but as we found out from today's episode, I mean, she's in marketing, so she could find followers herself. I'm sure that she's just asking people for follows as she's losing them.
Follow me.
Can you please follow? Maybe she's contacting her family. Maybe she's saying, hey, can you follow me? I'm losing some followers. And
listen, I mean, Jess and I both, like, at this point, at least me, like Jess much longer than me, but like me at this point, I'm like 2 years into the like social media game. So like buying followers literally is just for show. So she's just like trying to keep up the appearance, if that is what's going on.
I mean, I'm not saying, again, this is allegedly. I'm not saying she did. That's what people are saying, that she is not losing followers because. But also, you know what? I don't think she had many followers to begin with. So the people that are following her are definitely not following her from the Bachelor world. I think a lot of the people that are following her are other people that look up to her because she's a model, because she's a pretty girl. There could be a ton of other reasons why she's getting followers.
I also think that it's important to highlight the fact that she reiterated rather to Brendan that, she didn't want to come in the first place. So to me, that kind of signified that he was the driving force behind all of this. So I don't think that she shares the blame with Brendan as much as, people might want to try to put it on her. Like, she's definitely like innocent, but like, Brendan's the one who went on there acting a fool. And then like to find out that she didn't want to come in the first place, it's kind of like I kind of felt that way. It kind of seemed that way since she had this sort of like cavalier attitude about everything, which is the wrong direction to take. But like, yeah, it just seems like Brendan was really kind of driving this home, which is very weird, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I, as Erica said too, like she wasn't a very liked person on Matt's season either. I don't know why.
They said she was a mean girl.
She was part of that mean girl group. And
I don't remember her doing anything. Like, I don't remember her. But you know what? Jess knows this. I'm very lenient when it comes to like the whole like mean thing. Like, I don't even know, like someone could call someone like a bitch and like be cursing them out, and I'm like, oh, they were upset. Like, to me that's not like a whole mean girl thing, but Bachelor audience is different than me, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like mean girls. I like reformed mean girls. I can deal with those. But it's just she's a young girl. She's spoiled. She's pretty. I mean, when you're that I don't know, when you're that young, it's just she's there not to make friends. One of the things though that I will say is we go into the day of Brendan and Piper kind of being attacked by Joe's mob of people.
Disgruntled females.
Is disgruntled females, as Brendan called them. And and they go and talk to him, and this is the thing, like, I think that a lot of people, and I agree with Joe and those like Natasha who genuinely come on the show to find love, because you do have those as we talk about it, Kemi and I talk about it, so people do go on reality shows and it is a reality show. These aren't paid actors. There are some people that go on these shows because of their love for the show, their genuine thought process that they are going to fall in love, that they're going to win the money, that they are in love with the game that they're playing, whatever the case may be. And then you have others that go in there specifically to act a character, to enhance their acting careers and to gain followers and to become Instagram famous and to, be influencers and whatever the case is, but that should not, like, even though there are no rules, rules of the show, rules of this game, like, Kemi, do you feel like that they should have left, that they should have gotten kicked off, that they should, that it is that because they knew each other, that they should have just not be able to be on this island for a free vacation?
No, I don't think so, because I think that the producers certainly knew that that was the case with them coming in. So, I just see it as like the producers set the situation up and they knew it would be good TV for them. So to kick them off would just be ridiculous. Them leaving on their own, that makes sense because it would be really uncomfortable for them to stay. But I think, like, back to what your original point was, like, I do think that when you mix the people who are there being genuine with like the Insta fame people, it's like this like naivete that the people who are there for genuine reasons have, that the influencer people can now like prey on. So like the people who are there for like genuine reasons are always going to be like, the fall victims in this situation, because like they're just going in like, unassuming, while it's kind of like you have like a mouse going into a room with a snake. Like the snake knows what's up and the mouse is just like fucking around looking for some cheese. So
yeah. And I agree. And since last episode, between then and now, both Brendan and Piper have released statements. Brendan stating, like, literally doing a notes app apology and putting it on a good notes app apology. And then Piper giving her apology to Us Weekly, and this is where you see the disconnect, because why, girl, why are you going all the way to Us Weekly to give out an apology statement, which wasn't at all an apology statement, actually?
But Jess, why? That master's in marketing, girl. She said, I want everyone to see this, not just the people who follow me. I want everyone possible to see this. I want to maximize on the viewership on this, on my statement, and I want it to be well known exactly my point on this whole thing. So,
yeah,
honestly, like, I feel like Piper is probably going to deal with the situation a lot better than Brendan will.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, Brendan lost a lot more,
Absolutely.
I think that Brendan, and I'm not trying to be shady, but I think that Brendan genuinely wanted an influencer career, whereas Piper was more like, it would be nice to make more money. Like, I would be doing the same thing, but making like more money. I think that Brendan was like, this is like, you know, this is my shot at like insta money, which I understand that. I get it.
But he was there already. He was there already. He could have, like, he had the followers. He was already at a good 300K.
Yeah, but there's a difference between 300K and then like you see like Dylan and Hannah and like Kaylin and Dean, like that is a different sort of thing, you know? So I feel like if this were to be successful for them, they could be like they're very attractive separately and then very attractive together. So they could have been like the it couple of Paradise, right? They're both models. They would have gotten more modeling work. And then, you know, they could follow in the footsteps of, you know, the season 5 people.
Yeah.
And, you know, really fucking killed it.
Yeah. And it's so sad that this happened, because you know what? Pieper has a master's in marketing. Like, she could have done this for the both of them. Brendan didn't have to come up with, you know, a plan. Like, had they just talked a little bit before this, they could have really just done this themselves.
But you know what? People love I know me, for example, people love watching people fall in love. So it's one thing to hear about how they fell in love, like, oh, look at them posting online. But like watching it, I'm so sorry. But like watching it on TV is like a completely different thing. So I feel
but we didn't see Caitlyn and Jason fall in love.
Who?
Jason and Caitlyn.
Oh.
Dancing with the Stars, Caitlyn? Like, I mean,
but she was the Bachelorette, right? Like, I mean, I feel like it's different. You know, it's different. Like, Caitlyn is unworldly. Like, she's crazy successful. She's like, you know, and then Jason is like probably the most perfect person they've ever cast on one of these fucking Bachelor shows. So them coming like that, I feel like, you know, that's like the needle in the haystack. Whereas like they had the path mapped out for them with the season 5 couples. Yeah. And this is their chance. I mean, like, they were both asked to come on Paradise. They weren't official. You know, I feel like it was fine that they came on there. They just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm just, I look at this and I'm just like 49,000 followers is still too much for you to basically insinuate that Deandra, you know, has nobody and that Natasha is never going to find anybody. I'm just so mad. I like the audacity that the man had to just.
But you know what? Jess and I talk about this all the time, right? Like, men think that they're God's gift to mankind. Like, you can hold a door open for a guy and he thinks that you're now ovulating to have his children. So Brendan thinking that he was like, you know, the shit on the beach and like, no, like, I don't want to like come off whatever the fuck he said to Pieper, but you know, a lot of women wanted me. It was all about me the first few days on the beach. They all wanted a piece of this Brendan. Like, relax. Like, you're cute, but like, okay, relax. Like, so is Riley, you know. So is Aaron. Like, so is Thomas.
Yeah, it's just it's a very interesting dynamic to see a villa full of very good-looking people just trying to be the most good-looking person. So if you've ever encountered a really just full of shit, like good-looking man, then more than likely they're going to be even more full of shit in this villa because they're just competing against other good-looking people. And if you're the best-looking person out of a group of good-looking people, then that's it. Like, so I'm glad that this actually happened to Brendan to hopefully like sit his ass down and give him a rude awakening as to.
I mean, Thomas was on that beach, like.
So true. And actually, now that you're talking about Thomas, we could just go straight to it because we already know that Bees, Brendan and Pieper ended up leaving. They decided that they were going to leave. Super awkward. Felt very awkward for them. That was like secondhand embarrassment. I feel like I don't like watching secondhand embarrassment. I don't like feeling embarrassed for other people. So it was a little cringe for me to hear Brendan's speech about why they're leaving. And it was like, okay, it was a great time, but
We
I
also
think
had a
we're
mix of accents going on. We had his Bostonian accent just like, flinging around, and then Joe comes out of nowhere, real Chicago, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we have a little bit of diversity going on. Like, okay.
so it just said like, so wait, need a number of days of paradise count. So even though it's been 5 or 6 days, it hasn't been 5 or 6 days. It's already been close to like a month now, right?
No, that's just the way that they phrase it based on like rose ceremonies. It's only been a few days.
What? No.
They only
He said
film
it every Monday.
they only film for a month. Yeah. So they count a week as a rose ceremony. Even though it's like in real time it's only like 2-3 days.
Wait, are you serious?
Dead ass.
Like, how do you know this?
Because I am like deep into Bachelor Nation. Like, this is like my show.
Really?
Yeah. Like the way people know about like HOH comps and stuff like that, and like the fact.
But you said you haven't watched season 2 of Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, but yeah. I was just trying to figure out how you knew that. But that seems a little odd to me. I thought that it wasn't 5 or 6 days. I literally thought that they were already in there for at least 3 weeks, because they kept on talking about weeks. They kept on saying weeks.
No. It's just it's a show thing.
Okay.
It's just like when like
I could see that for like the Bachelorette and the Bachelor, but I thought Bachelor in Paradise was different.
No, they only film for like a month.
Yeah. Well, I thought then at that time it still shouldn't be 6 days.
Bubble being bursted in real time. Oh,
I'm just like, what? No, I'm gonna find this out for y'all. If any of you all know, see, look, Sasha says the same thing. Are you sure, KEMI? Are you sure?
I would be willing to put money on it. Yes, I'm positive.
Ooh, willing to put a little wager, a little wager, huh, KEMI? Are we gonna try to? I'm gonna try to get down to. I'm gonna try to figure this out. We know some people.
Okay, here's the wager.
Bachelor Nation.
If I'm right, you have to buy my first 4 shots when I see you next week.
Damn, first 4. Is that how much we're drinking next week? 4 shots. Minimum. Oh, for if anybody doesn't know, KEMI and I are going to see each other next week, and we're super excited.
We'll be in New York. If anyone is in New York or is looking to travel to New York, if you are a Survivor fan, we will be attending Wendell and Bryce's premiere party for Survivor 41 in New York.
Yes, we will. And there will be plenty of other, insane amount of Survivor contestants, as well as some other Big Brother people that you may or may not know. So if anybody is interested in information, just let us know. Let us know in the comments section, and we will be more than willing to give you the information for that. Tickets are available, and we're super excited because we get to watch some of our favorites. Like, you get to watch Survivor, and we get to be with each other.
But Thomas, big fine ass, because here's my thing, right? Even though it had been all of 3 days that he's been like 3 days in reality that he's been like making out with Tammy, I understand her hurt.
Yeah,
he's fine. And you see the height difference when he was breaking up with her? My heart would have been shattered. Like, he's breaking up with her from all the way up there. It took at least 3 minutes for it to travel down here. I didn't hear it. Like, I didn't hear what he said. Like, I would be devastated. And then it's also very embarrassing considering that she left Aaron for him. And like, it just, I hate being on the bad end of an I told you so moment. I hate
Yeah. Again, for the secondhand embarrassment, I'm not here for it. Like Tammy was also another mean girl that was on the season. And so although personally I didn't really care for her on her season, I did feel a little bad for her. But at the same time, the fact that she did that to Aaron, so brutally, the fact that people were telling her that they told her also, it was just like, wow, karma is really, really going after these islanders right now. They're very much hitting it hard. And it was crazy to see her this vulnerable. And I know she's posted on her Twitter account, and she's talked about how vulnerable she made herself for Thomas Loth. When I felt bad. When you say that it was your birthday, this happened on
her heart, like
you're following your heart. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Which is the point of the show, right? The point of the show is to follow your heart. I don't agree with some of the ways that she decided to do that. I think I think her delivery in the first early stages of it and how she talked to Aaron was the downfall of me not feeling so bad for her, because her delivery was really shitty. At least with, Thomas, like, but like I told you, the thing with Thomas, and the tricky thing with Thomas, is that he tells women what they want to hear. So when you're looking at him, you're like, well, he told you. And it sounded, you like, how can you fault him? That's what he said. He's telling you that he just knows, at the end of the day, it's going to be heartbreak later on. He's saving you the heartbreak.
No, I hated that. It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it was very much of a, it's not you, it's me. And the thing was, I guess the worst thing is that it was her birthday, because that's kind of just shitty to go through that when it's your birthday. And second of all, she said it was worse than COVID. This girl, Tammy.
Listen, I know some people fall hard and fast, but like, I feel like that was just the power of Thomas's good looks working on Tammy. Like, that's literally what it came down to.
Why is BB asking if you're okay, Kemi? Are you okay, Kemi?
Oh, did I do something weird? I'm so sorry.
I think she's looking at her phone. That's what it is. She's looking at her notes.
Yes.
That's what Yes, and at least Tammy did like her birthday cake at the end. That was kind of a good thing. This is going to be very interesting. So we go in after this, after Tammy cries her heart out and things of that nature. We go into the rose ceremony. Yay for us that Natasha gets a rose. So production at least knew that we were going to want Natasha to stay after this whole ordeal, and decides to get a rose. How did you feel about that?
No, I love that. And her reaction to that, oh God, it just broke my heart. I'm glad that her time wasn't completely wasted. Like, it's kind of like Paradise is like sort of just starting for her.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of gives us some hope, right? At the end of the day, okay, so at the end of the rose ceremony, you have Ivan and Kendall. I'm sorry, where in the world did this whole Ivan and Kendall situation happen? Did I miss something?
They were making out at one point too. I'm like, can we rewind the tapes? Like, you need to give us some backstory. Like, when did this happen?
Yeah, did we miss something? Anybody in the comments, like in the chat, is there something that y'all saw that we didn't see? Was I in the bathroom when this segment happened? I don't know. Did something go out? Did my TV go out? I don't know. Because this whole Kendall Ivan situation, I was just, first of all, I had no idea. The whole James and Tia thing, I had zero idea. When they were talking about who was going to go home, I honestly thought Kendall was going to go. I thought Kendall was going to go home, and I thought Tia was going to go home. I was like, these girls haven't made any, like, okay, Kenny, Kenny just gave Mari the rose. Tia's out. Like, where do they find these men to give these girls roses? Where? Like this whole, well, why Ivan and Kendall's romance didn't make the episodes, because she's playing Ivan like a fiddle. And this whole Ivan and Kendall situation, not only does it lack passion, but it just makes no sense whatsoever. And we'll get back to it, but at the very end, like, Ivan read the room. Like, it was just so icky. Did you feel that?
Yeah, it was weird. I think the weirdest thing is the fact that we didn't have any backstory. So it's just like pan to them making out, and it's like, okay, like, it's just weird.
Yeah. And Vivian says, at least they didn't show Riley and Marissa making sounds in the boom boom room this time. That is true. And that was going to be the next thing, because I kind of cackled at this. So I want to say that I was in Michigan this weekend. It was a couples trip, and we went for my friend's birthday, and we had an Airbnb. And as my sister was putting her clothes away, like in the drawers, at the bottom drawer in one of the rooms, there were 4 cans of whipped cream. Like, I'm talking about a bedroom, okay? There was in the bedroom, in the bottom drawer, there were 4 cans of whipped cream with no tops on them. I was like,
not the ease of access.
I was like, first of all, doesn't that have to be refrigerated? Second of all, like, what? So when I saw this whole this whole Riley and Marissa situation, that was very interesting. And I want to ask KEMI, have you ever used whipped cream for other than your pies?
Other than what?
Your pies. Don't you put whipped cream on pies?
I don't eat pie, but no, aside from just giving it to Billion as a little treat, no, I'm not. That's not ever been something. I wouldn't be against it. It's just not something that I've tried. But I have to say, like, the little scene was kind of sexy. Like, I was like, okay, like,
I was a little, like, Erica, I was a little hot and bothered by it. I'm not even gonna lie, even though I think the scene in itself may have not been ABC Disney appropriate.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Black boxes everywhere.
I would say for some, well, how old would you say people need to be in order to that are watching this show? Are you like 14, 15? I mean,
27.
What?
Yeah.
27. What are you talking about? Sabrina has watched The Bachelor and Bachelorette with me. She hasn't watched Bachelor in Paradise, but that's only because, like, she doesn't care for it. And she's 15.
She's watching the wrong ones. But I just feel like in order to get the black box off of Demi's ass, maybe 27, because they're acting like we're all children over here, that we can't see a little bit of cheek. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, the whipped cream, don't give anybody ideas, you know. Now I have a feeling instead of, you know, spin the bottle, there's going to be you know, there's going to be a bowl and people are going to put, you know, body parts, names of body parts on them, and they're going to have a big can of whipped cream in the middle, and they're just going to spin the whipped cream bottle.
I promise you that kids these days are doing much worse.
And that's also probably true. The whole toe, though, like the toe thing, the fact that she said that the toe was yummy.
Girl, she is in love. Okay, everything is yummy. She is in love with that man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. People say, yeah.
Yes, Sasha, I liked it. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch that before I go to bed.
Said the toe thing was gross. Yeah, I think when Wes said, I see what people walk in, you know, like there's sand, there's dirt, there's dead crabs. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't be sucking on toes. I definitely would not be sucking on toes. It's you really need to like somebody, or you need to be a big freak. And Marissa did say that she was a little freaky deaky. So,
and, I mean, they're clearly in love. Like, I really hope that we get to see more of their love story besides just like the physical aspect of it.
Oh, look at that. Asia for the win. She says Samantha from Sex and the City recommends low fat Cool Whip. Yeah, and that was bothering me too, actually. The fact that it was sticky, because that gets sticky. It's not fun. It's not fun. And it stinks. And I'm not saying this because like I use it all the time on my season of the show that shall not be named. I was making pies like for a whole damn week and throwing it in people's faces and throwing it in my face. And like the whole house smelled like whipped cream, and it was disgusting. It smelled like rotten milk. It was sticky. It was disgusting. It was in hair. It was just, it's not fun.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Marissa was on America's Next Top Model?
What?
That's what Erica said. Was she on America's Next Top Model? She should be. She's like every night she just looks amazing.
She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. I did not know that.
It's funny how when people go on a show, they like to act like it never happened. I know the feeling.
Marissa gives me Scorpio eyes. You know what? She does for me too. They're very passionate and like intense humans, those Scorpios. I know quite a few of them. And Erica says, yes, I need to figure out what season that is, because I would be very interested in seeing her season. I don't remember that.
I agree.
Yeah, so let's keep going. So Little John comes in. Great host.
Definitely great vibes. So I think that definitely was a nice turn on the energy for the night. You know, we got rid of some toxicity and then we brought in some great vibes. So I really like that turn of things. I do wonder if Chris Harrison is sitting at home like reading and like hate watching the show.
Must be, because I really enjoy Paradise this season way more than any of the other seasons, to be quite honest. And I didn't think that I was gonna like this whole change of hosts, but I'm not hating it. I'm not hating it. Maybe it's just one big tryout, like, you know, just one big thing for everybody, you know, and they're gonna see who responded better to it. Not that I could really see Little John being, you know, the permanent host of Bachelor in Paradise, but
David Spade, if anyone, or Lance Bass.
Absolutely. So he comes in, he says he's testing connections. Girls have roses. the women have roses, and he brings the next guy down, and it happens to be Blake from Claire's season. I honestly do not remember who this man is. He does not. I'm sorry. Does anybody remember Blake from Claire's season? Did he look familiar to you?
No, I've never seen those tattoos a day in my life.
Yeah, I feel like, and he's a good looking man. He's not an ugly guy. I mean, not that they're
He looks like a country singer. He definitely looks like he will fit in very well into Tia's lifestyle in Nashville, 100%. And I think that's honestly what drove her to him, because I did read somewhere that Tia had bought a house in Nashville. So I think it's not, when you reach a certain age, like the way I am, like when you reach a certain age and like you've dated around a lot, like it's not just, do I like you? Do we have this connection? But it's also like, will you fit into my life? Will you fit in with my friend group? Like, could you chill and hang with like my friend group? Do you fit into my community? Like,
yeah,
like seamlessly without it being forced, So I feel like Tia automatically saw that in him, and yeah, that's why things went so well with them.
Yeah, and I would say that if he's from Indiana, Tia's from Nashville, or she lives in Nashville,
Yeah.
I feel like that is actually a very good mix. Like people from the Midwest, because they're kind of technically considered Midwest. Nashville isn't. It's a little bit more further south, but I don't even think Nashville considers themselves South. I think we had that whole conversation.
All of that's the South to me.
Like, to me, it is. To me, yeah. Girl, I think Indiana's South, to be quite honest, because if you go far down Indiana, you get the accents, the Southern accents.
I won't even lie to you, Jess. I don't even know where Indiana is. So I'm not joking.
Are you serious?
I have no idea where that is. Is it near you?
Yes, it's driving distance from me. I mean, depending on what part of Indiana you're from, but yeah, I mean, we had to drive through Indiana to get to Michigan. So.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of going under, like right by the lake. It's kind of under, and then it's the whole state. But it's a long state. So Indianapolis is like 3 hours from us.
It's all a flyover state to me. I mean, like,
yeah.
Even Illinois, where you are, Illinois to me is Chicago. Anything outside of Chicago, you got me. Like, no clue. So, but yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So, yeah, so he asks her on the date. They go on this they go on this date. It's cute. Like they look like they're very compatible. But then again, I thought her and Kenny looked like they would have been compatible as well.
Tia seems like someone who's very easy to get along with.
Yeah, she is. And yeah, I think that ultimately this puts a damper in James's plans. Although, like, James has not been at all anywhere on this season. He's just been the guy that happens to get a rose to give to a girl in need. I feel like maybe they just give him roses to give out to girls that need them.
That you want to stay.
Yeah, it's very odd because I never see anything with him, and obviously he thinks that Tia is like the only person that he can see a connection with. And then we have Natasha, who ends up going. I'm gonna say, okay, so I got to tell you that this actually really broke my heart. This last kind of not the very end, but close to the end, with Natasha and Joe. First of all, if anybody has watched our Bachelorette recaps, if anybody that has been here has watched our Bachelorette recaps, they would know that I go hard for Joe. Anesthesiologist Joe. I was all about Joe on Claire's season. I told you, like, I needed him to be like the next Bachelor. I like loved him. I follow him. I was so happy. Like, I was screaming when he came down. Does anybody feel that way?
He seems like really good energy. He seems like a really nice guy. Fun, funny, a doctor with a sense of humor. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved seeing him come on, and I loved seeing him immediately, pull Natasha for a talk. I loved the first portion of their date. Now, if I was Natasha, I wouldn't have brought up Brendan at all. But I do understand why she did in that moment. Everything's still very fresh. Um, and at the end of the day, that is his like broski. So, it's either going to be a problem now or it's going to be a problem later. So we might as well nip it in the bud, like right now. But yeah, it was sad to see that date like deteriorate so quickly.
It was so horrible. And look,
He said, my Brendan.
That's how you know it's bad. And I was feeling the same exact way when I heard him say that. I was just like, what? My Brendan. Yeah, when we talk about, Claire's season, Claire and Tayshia's season, just like Katie's season, but more so with that they had such a bromance going on, like a lot of them, because Claire was obviously, it was the Dale show, right? So the men had nobody else but the other men to like get to know and be around. So I get that, but even outside, like when you see the Instagrams and stuff like that, like Joe and Brendan are really close. It's going to be really interesting. I haven't really touched base to see what Instagram looks like for him in terms of everything that went on now that he got to see, if he has any thoughts about like the Brendan situation. Nor do we know what's going to happen, but it hurt my heart. It really did, because the fact that they did break, it was like they wanted drama. It's like, right, Asia, like the irony of them bringing Dr. Joe on the show and him asking Natasha, only to find out that his loyalty to the bromance was with Brendan. Yeah, no bueno for Natasha. I agree. It's just like, how does production manage to do this? Like this just sucks. It sucks. Oh, sorry. And it hurt my heart, because I really would have loved to see that flourish. And it made me even more upset that Brendan just continues to mess things up. So, yeah, I think that ultimately the fact that it just became really awkward, it was just really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was also unfortunate because like you see like at the end of the date when they're walking away, like he's like playfully hugging her. He's like, not my Brendan. And it's like, I try to put myself in his shoes. It's like, if I heard that you did something shady, Jess, I'd be like, you mean Jess Rath, right? You don't mean my Jess. You're talking about Jess season 19. Oh,
that Jess.
And it's like, if I'm like pursuing a guy and he's like, yeah, Jess like ghosted me, or like she did something so petty, you're still my girl, like I'll talk it out with you and everything, but it's like, I don't know that I would want to pursue something with this guy if he has this, active tension with someone who I'm so close with. Because at the end of the day, friendships are what they are. And it's like, I can forgive you for something that you did to someone else, obviously easier than they're going to forgive you for what you did to them. At the same time, I don't have a relationship with this person, and I don't know if I want to now explore that, because I have a very deep friendship with Jess. So, sorry, Steve.
Yes. And being, yes, she did know that Joe and Brendan were good friends. She did mention on the show during their date, actually, that a good time while Brendan and Natasha were talking, that Brendan was talking about Joe a lot. So she knew about the relationship. She knew how close they were because Brendan would talk about him and said that he couldn't wait until he came into paradise. So I was like, ew, that's really awkward.
Yeah.
Which is like, Natasha, you knew this was gonna probably not go anywhere as soon as you like. I feel like that was a telltale sign. Like I probably wouldn't even go on a date with him had I known, like, because it's like I know that the guy that that left because
But wait, anesthesiologist, nice guy. I believe he also lives in New York. Like it just makes sense. Like he's, a nice guy. He's a catch. Like he's local. Like, and I feel like that's like a huge thing in Bachelor Nation for someone to be like actually in your city. Like that has a better success rate. Like look at our girl Tasha. She's a New Yorker now. She's no longer a Cali girl. She is a full-on New Yorker.
Ooh, wait. So I saw. Okay, I want this. This just in. So Pieper just posted. I love how people are sending me messages. Like Pieper just posted, and she wrote, "As my time in paradise concludes, I would like to clear up one final point of contention. Who talks? I'm sorry. Who talks like this? Amidst everything that's been happening on and off screen, Brendan and I were not in an exclusive relationship in any capacity before filming." How do we?
I mean,
why? I'm wondering why she just felt to say that.
Maybe they didn't have an exclusive relationship. Maybe they didn't have any labels, but that doesn't negate the fact that they were like they saw each other the day before he left for paradise. Like, come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you weren't exclusive. You saw him 10 times. You were around him 10 times. You came for him. Like, you guys saw each other right before he left. You two knew you were going on the show together. You wanted a free vacation. The fact that you weren't exclusive means, to me, means absolutely nothing.
Tell him, Jess.
I mean, I don't know. What's the difference? Y'all were only going there for each other. So what's the difference? It wasn't like, oh, well, I'm going for you, but I'm also going for other people. It wasn't that. And mind you, I have so many problems with the statement, obviously, as you can tell. Did she not also say when Brendan was talking about him telling people that they weren't exclusive and that it wasn't serious, blah, blah, blah? Didn't she say, well, we're more than that? Like, didn't she feel the need to like but him, and say, yeah, but like we're a little bit more serious than that. Like,
yeah, like she definitely pointed out that she was trying to pick up where they left off, and that she only came there. Sorry. That she only came there for him, and that he was downplaying what they had, and like he seemed like very hurt by the fact that she would feel like he didn't feel like a certain way about her. So they definitely have like a very intense connection, which is great. Like that's a beautiful thing, but like you didn't hurt Natasha in the process of like rediscovering your relationship.
I mean, I agree, but I also think, like, seriously, that's the one thing that you want to say. To conclude, after, to conclude everything, I just want to say we weren't in an official relationship. How about I'm sorry for taking up a spot. I'm sorry for the way that, Brendan made, went about this. I'm sorry that we decided to go this route, that I'm not looking for followers, that I was, and I'm sorry you had to, that I got caught. I don't know. Something,
Yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, that is pretty much, oh, wait, I was going to say, aside from talking about Blake and Tia, we also have a very important part of the episode where Joe and Serena say, I love you, or I'm falling in love with you.
I adore Serena and by extension Joe. I just feel like she's great energy, group vibes, and she's just so sweet. And I love how playful and like easy their relationship is. And yeah, it was nice to see. I really like that she said it first. Like I feel like that. I just thought that was so cute. And yeah, I love them.
I do. Something, and then we see the again the awkward or the secondhand embarrassment of seeing Kendall watching this. It was very odd because were they literally like maybe a foot away from each other? Like I don't even know. It looked like they were
like, okay, I don't want to watch my ex make out with anyone, and I don't even like him. So
yeah.
Like
that's true.
I'm in love with, like, it's just weird.
To be quite honest, I mean, like, I'm married and I'm happily married, but if my ex-boyfriend would just happened to be like on the same island as me with my husband, and I'm just watching him make out with somebody, it seems, I feel like that would be really weird, because the last time I saw him make out with anybody was with me, even though that was probably close to 13 years ago. That would still be very odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, she looked very distraught. And again, poor Ivan, for not being able to take social cues very well, decides he wants to make out with her right around the time that this is all happening.
That was the creepiest thing ever. Like, my body was like convulsing. Like, how would you think that was even like, I don't even know. Like, that was just fucking weird.
Yeah. Someone BB said 13 years ago. Wow. Yes, my last boyfriend was probably about wait, no, actually probably longer. No, it's longer. It's like but maybe 14 or 15 years ago. Yeah, I'm an old soul. But anyway, yeah, it's awkward all around. Seriously. This is, I like Serena P and Joe, but it's been a week. Way too soon to say I love you. Is it?
I do feel like I'm someone who feels like when you know, you know. So, maybe a week is all they needed to know. Jessica is a cynic.
No, not at all. I think I honestly think that this is just dating on steroids, right? Because you have all of this time, like, right? Serena didn't even say this to Matt. Like Matt really, if people remember Matt's season, like Matt really liked Serena. And Serena kind of backed off and she's like, I don't think you're my person. And she like bounced and left. Right. She's the one who took herself out of that situation. Right. So so there is a point where like she knew when she wasn't in love with somebody, but that was also with they say with the Bachelor, it takes it's like you're only with each other for moments in time. It's not a very long time, versus where people have talked about Bachelor in Paradise is like, that's all you have is time with your person. Yeah. That's all you have. That it's just you and your person. I think in the during the podcast for clickbait, like that's what they were talking about. Like a lot of people on the island, they didn't know, in the villa, they didn't know what was going on individually with each other's like romances, relationships, because they were focused on their own. You know, they were spending time with the person they came on, you know, on the island for, or whatever the case is. That's 24/7 on a beach with people like I was with Kemi for, like, on the show for a month, but that's 24 hours, 7 days a week. And given we didn't talk for all those 24/7, but it's a long time. That like 24 hours in one day. I mean,
Right.
even if you're asleep for 8 of them.
If you're spending your time intentionally trying to spend time with that person, like it seems like a lot longer, because like you're hyper focused on that person and you're only focused on like developing a relationship, seeing if it works. You already like them, seeing if, you know, this could go further, talking about the future, making plans for the future, you know, that whole thing. The difference between freaking Toronto and Chicago is apparently like a 5-hour drive.
It's not. It's an 8-hour drive, but
Same thing.
It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely driving distance.
I thought it was like a day.
No, it's definitely driving. We've done it plenty of times to go to Toronto, go back and forth from Chicago to Toronto all the time. So, I mean, it's definitely doable. Like they do, out of probably all of them, have the most realistic kind of relationship, aside from the age gap. But you know,
yeah, but we've all dated like a little bit older. Like, I mean, I think everyone's dated. Like, my future first husband, who has made his way into my, you guys, we're gonna have to have a whole podcast on like what my type is and how, you know, God has been blessing me lately. Anyways, he's the same age difference as, maybe a little bit younger. You know, I think like 12 years older than me. And to me, it's like, you know, as long as you're not on Social Security yet, I think we can
get the hell out of here.
Like, I think we can make something shake.
Get out of here. Yes, after, you know, but after 1 week, yes, you could totally, because if it's yeah, you could totally. Think about when you date. When you date someone, how long is your date, Kemi?
Like a first date or like a second date?
A first date.
A first date, you know, probably talking about like 3 hours.
Yeah. So let's say a 3-hour date, and then maybe you're talking to them around like maybe on the phone, maybe you're texting them for like a whole week until you see them on the next date, which is going to be how long, Kemi? How long is the second date?
Second date, you know, it might be overnight. Who knows? Like,
I mean, maybe. Okay. Who's to say? But you know, but where I'm getting at here is that like a week could literally, if you're spending a good 8 hours a day with that person for a whole week, that's worth a month's worth of dating in my thought process. But we're going to end up wrapping this, but not until we do what we do here every week, which is going to be our agree or disagree segment. For those of you all who don't know, agree or disagree, this is where we each state maybe a statement that we want you all to either agree or disagree with by either giving us a thumbs up for agree or a thumbs down for disagree. And if anybody in the chat has a statement, or I would say a question, because we need to be able to agree or disagree on it. But if you have anything that you want us to disagree or agree on, just put it in the chat. I'm going to start first. Okay. So today's agree or disagree is going to be as follows. Agree or disagree? I believe that the next people that come in, these men that come into the next season, to the next episode, are going to break up Marissa and Riley. Agree? Wait, yeah, you got to do the 1, 2, 3. Agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree that the next people that come in to the villa will break up Marissa and Riley? I agree. Oh, you disagree?
They're not going anywhere.
You saw the episode next week, didn't you?
Yeah, but like just because he pulls her, it doesn't mean that she's gonna like forget she was just sucking Riley's toe the day before.
I mean, she likes sucking toes.
Fresh toe on her mouth. And you think she's gonna leave him for some rando? It's not happening.
Oh my god! Really? You see them getting engaged?
I do too. I feel that that's gonna happen. Oh, I love them. They're my favorite. They're
really?
My favorite. Yes, by far. Like it's not even close. I do really like Joe and Serena, but like Riley and Marissa, like I love it.
Look at that. Okay, so I guess I'm standing corrected because everybody disagrees. I don't know, man. I don't know what happens if he's gonna fight for her. Maybe he's gonna fight for her, but who knows? Like my thought process is that her head's gonna turn, and then she they kind of argue. Riley tries to fight for her, and then he gets the rose, and then new girls come in, and then he does a Kenny, and he's just like, I don't trust her anymore. I'm gonna go like see something else.
Stop. Don't even breathe it into existence. That is, there are all these possible universes where all these things could be going on. There are tall grays that could be walking around, humans with 3 eyes, there are all these possible realms. That happens in none of them. Nope, dead that. That's not happening. They are going to get engaged. They're going to get married. Hopefully I'm invited. Oh my goodness. And then, we're going to watch their relationship thrive.
Okay. My second one, and this will be the last, is agree or disagree. Natasha will come out having a boo thing after this season. On 3, okay, you agree or you disagree on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I do agree, but I kind of don't want her to. I want her to find her person outside of Bachelor Nation. Like, I want her to not have the burden of, like, this specific paradise relationship as her, like, life story. Like, it's already been such a negative experience that I just don't want that to be like I would love for her to find her person outside of this.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel that way too with her, but I mean, at the same time, I want her to just come out victorious. I want her to find someone. So hopefully she'll be able to do that. I'm excited for next week.
Me too.
It seems like there's just more drama. You got a lot of Kendall just crying over Joe. Which, hey girl, I would be too, because Joe's a catch and you kind of messed up. So I'm pretty sure that's the
He says that as a Chicagoan.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I don't know him. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Bibi. Or I don't know. She doesn't look like she's in love on clickbait, but those are also pretty I feel like we would have maybe seen that, right? Maybe seen a little bit of a spoiler here or there.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, and yes, and not to forget the hurricane that has them all evacuating and running for cover. So that will be interesting. Other than that, is there anything else that you want to say, Kemi?
Nope. We are going to tweet out the Survivor premiere party flyer from the Girl Let's Agree to Disagree Twitter account. So make sure you're following that if you'd be interested in um, attending the event. It should be a lot of fun. There are going to be a lot of freaking people there who I'm so excited to see. So especially, oh my God, I miss Bryce. So
Yeah, and including some Survivor winners. I mean, we have
yeah, we do have.
Wendell, we have Tommy. For those who have watched Survivor, Tommy, who is season 39 winner. Michelle, who is also on Winners at War and also on the challenge. We have a lot of season 39 people that are going to be there. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, they're gonna be a lot of people there, so it should be a lot of fun. So if you guys want to come out and like meet us all in person, that would be amazing. So we can put some like faces to the tags. But yeah, so we're gonna tweet that out from the Girl Let's Agree to Disagree account. But yeah, that's all I have.
Yes, and if you haven't already, make sure you click like, subscribe, and click to receive the notifications because we will be back on Tuesday. We will, because we all fly out or do whatever on Wednesday. So yeah, so we should be able to recap, one last recap before we head out. And so make sure you share, you like, you subscribe, you comment, let us know your thoughts. We love that you all spent time with us today to talk a little bit about what's been going on with Bachelor in Recap. We do this every Tuesday after Bachelor in Paradise. Also, if you do not already, make sure, or if you watch Big Brother, you know that we also recap that every Wednesday. We will be doing that tomorrow after the veto episode. I'm not very happy about it, but you were going to have to do what we got to do because we only got a couple more recaps left, and then we're scotch-free of that mess. So, and then we'll be happy. But yes, we love you all so very much. Thank you, and we will see you next time.